Hey, it's Curly, and today I've got a box of set 13, Flight of Chakrabarthi, ready to go for this unboxing video. Unboxing video that is extremely late. I always like to get these out the Monday right after the release because these always come out on Friday. And lately I've had the opportunity to do them on the day of release, that Friday. But I've had a lot of issues trying to actually get this box on time. And I even ordered a case that, unfortunately, due to delays and USPS being what it is, I got the case late. So sorry about that, but we finally have an unboxing video. This is going to be a bit of a special one, because this is one of the boxes from my case. My fiance and I have already gone through the case, and we've gotten 3 FFRs. You can see them here: Youthberg, the Grade 4 Sport Dragon, and Leonorn. Which means there should be one last FFR left. I put this one box aside, hoping that it'll be the one. Since we've already pulled Leonorn and Youthberg, I don't think we can then pull those in secret. That being said, that still leaves the card that I really want to pull, which is the Vanguard secret. In addition to that, we can also just get an FFR. However, the thing is that we have this one box here, but also my fiance held on to a box for herself she's going to open later on. So today we're going to find out if my case, 1, has a secret rare, but also 2, if I manage to get lucky enough and grab the box that actually has it from our case. But let's jump right into it. So yep, Flight of Chakrabarthi, not a set that I am gonna sound too enthused about. One of the things is, once you open a case, you see every single card a million times and you tend to not really care about a set as much. The other thing is that I was initially really excited for this set because I thought it opened up a lot of new opportunities, a lot of new decks to be around, but really that's caused by like set 11 and 12 and partially because of this set. So it's just in general the card pool is really open and a lot of the decks have a lot of support versus this specific set having a lot of support. So we're going to go ahead and open it up, and you'll see quite a couple of things right off the bat. There we go. Managed to do that, so we can actually continue trying to do that in the Divine's era. But right off the bat, we've got ourselves here a Tranquilia, just thrown in the box. This is for the Olden Ride line. They threw a copy of this in every single box because of the fact that they did a misprint in the ones that are in the pack, because it's missing the word reveal here, which is kind of funny. They just kind of just loosely threw it in there, but great on Bushiroad's part to not experience massive delays. The boxes were delayed, but not, you know, massively as it was before, where they were delayed by months. And they were also able to, you know, put in a reprint in time. So props to them. Watch the Wildress anime if you'd like. And then we've got ourselves the best iterations of box toppers ever. As you can see, right from the get-go, without even looking at the second card here, we have the Sapient Owl, which is a card that I believe was like $100 in Japan because it is very good in Bastion Accord. And rather than making it a, I think this was a monthly Bushiroad promo in Japan, rather than doing something strange with it in English, they just made it a box topper, so it's extremely easy to get, which is very much appreciated. And we also got here the Blitz Staff Muna, which is another card that is very much appreciated because she's very good generally in any Brancate deck, but she's mainly only seen play in the Prison that's gotten revitalized thanks to this promo and the promo they got before the Grade 3 Grade 4 Skip Ride. So this is the best iteration of the box topper promos Bushiroad has ever done, and I hope they continue this theme going to the Divine's era. Got the packs here. The pack design is pretty standard fare. It looks pretty nice. I like this design of Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't been a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Overall, but ever since he's got the red jacket, he looks pretty cool. And I like the art for Yu here. It looks pretty cool here. I also like the new Strawberryna. Yeah, the pack looks pretty cool. I will say this is also my second time trying to do this unboxing, because I did record a video for it way before I got my case. But then the OBS that I was using to record the footage crashed, and I lost all the footage. I obviously can't rebox the packs and all that stuff to do it all over again, so that I was kind of, asked out. But let's just open this pack already. One of the reasons I'm not super excited about this set is because we have a lot of very strange and not useful cards. We continue the saga of just constantly printing Varina and Nirvana support endlessly. Every single set there's at least like 5 cards devoted to that deck. Then we got ourselves these new commons, which are very, very unfortunate because they all have the same sort of effect where you pay some sort of cost, you attack or boost, whatever might have you, then you choose your opponent's Vanguard, and this unit will get 2k power or something of that sort until the end of battle for each grade of that unit, usually by 2. So that this one actually doesn't say that, which is pretty interesting that it just says 2. But basically all the ones that we'll see will just get power based on your opponent's Vanguard. The whole plot being that if your opponent's on Griffagilia, you can get a nice 10k boost. But of course, Griffagilia isn't played to the point where we need to print so many cards to explicitly counter it. We also got cards in the common slot which only support Griffagilia, which typically say like Counterblast 1 draw, or this one says go to Soul and retire units. Then here's the one for Griffagilia also, which just says discard draw. We got support for Olden, of course, looks pretty cool. And then we also got another wave of support in the, I guess these are in the rare spot, that say 2 different effects. One of them say put a grade 3 card specifically that was originally from your ride deck and is either in Soul or drop, and you put it back into your ride deck face up. So very similar to like the cats that we got in set 11, except the payoffs are very, very much not great. This one just says that your Vanguard gets 10k power. The reason I don't like these is that, of course, these are only usable on sets, on turn 4, typically, depending on the deck. Something like the Prison that has a grade 4 that can ride on the first grade 3 turn, stuff like that, can maybe make use of this, but, getting the grade 3 that you ride from your ride deck, of course, means you don't have access to that until grade 3, but then it's usually on Vanguard Circle, so it's not very useful then. But then we also have another iteration that kind of works along with this, which just says if you have a grade 3 that was in your ride deck face up, you get another effect. So you'll like use this to put it face up, give it 10k, and you can play the other card which like lets you counter charge or something like that. We're gonna get ourselves the first double R here, which is gonna be the Witch of Extinguishment Fergosa here. This is a Youthberg support card that says when this is placed on rear, if you have a Vanguard or Youth, you Soul Blast 1, search your deck or drop for up to 1 Revolve form, put it into your Soul, then shuffle your deck if you search your deck. Then if your Soul has 3 or more Revolve form cards with different card names specifically, you Soul Blast a card that doesn't have Revolve name in its card name to draw 1. Then finally, if your Vanguard is placed by Revolve Dressed this turn, or no, just when it happens, you get 5k, this card gets 5k till the end of the turn. I was kind of hoping for a lot more from this set, but we do have a couple of cool, cute little comments here, which says, this one here is the Fertile Showers Dragon. That says if you have 8 or more cards in your drop, this gets 10k, but it's only on place to the end of the turn. But I was just expecting a little bit more. This is another decent one, which just says if this is discarded by an ability, you can Soul Blast 1, draw 1. We got the Olden grade 2 here. The grade 1 and grade 2 say the same thing generally, where it just says when it's rode upon, doesn't specifically specify what has to ride upon it. But you take 3 cards from your hand with different grades, reveal them to your opponent from your hand, then you look at the top 5 and call a grade 2 for the grade 2, grade 1 for the grade 1. From those top 5 to Vanguard Circle, and if not, you call this card out from your Soul. This is the card that I hate the most. So this is one of the cards that says choose your opponent's Vanguard, and it gets power for every 2 of their grades. But this card also has a caveat that says it has to boost to activate this skill, and you have to have 6 or more units, which I just think is so asinine that they would print a common with such a huge restriction just to at most get 10k power on boost. We're gonna get our first triple rare here in the Blazing Heavily Render Equip Arpegia here. So this says when this is placed on rear other than from deck, you can Soul Blast, discard a card from your hand, search your deck for up to 1 Prayer Dragon and call it to rear. So Soul Blast 1, discard, just search for any freaking prayer dragon. So that's why I was gonna, while I was reading it, I was thinking, why can't I get the skill when I place from deck? But you could just call itself and then just keep cycling it, but that part doesn't let you do that. Then it says, when this card becomes the original dress, you draw a card. Choose one of your outer dress units, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, it cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects, which of course gives it really good protection. Ooh, we got our fresh FFR, which is a bit concerning, even though I really love this card. The reason that this is a bit concerning is because, you know, you can only get two FRs in a box, or one FR, one secret, or FFR. So this means that whatever our next FR is, it has to either be an FR, which means we're screwed, we've picked the wrong box, or it has to be the FFR secret. But that being said, this is the Galactic B Hero Amas Dargnia here, the absolute amazing best card for heroes. This has 2 skills and says on place, on rear. If you have a Vanguard B Hero in its card name, and a base was not put into your orders on this turn, you can Soul Blast 1, discard a card from your hand. Search your deck for up to 1 base card, put into your order zone and shuffle your deck. This first effect is absolutely insane for many reasons. I'll have a deck profile for the deck coming up pretty soon, but really quickly, this says on place, so you can place this from your base and you'll get the skill, which ties in with the second skill. You obviously can very easily now get bases on 3 bases on your grade 3 turn. And then, of course, when you play the base with this skill, you still get the effect to like a top 7. Then it also has a skill here that says at the end of the battle this unit attacked, if you have a Vanguard with B Hero in its card name, and your order zone has 3 or more bases, you can CB1, retire this to choose one of your scouted units and call it to rear. So you can very easily attack with this, counterblast 1, call itself out again, and just do the whole shebang, as much counterblast as you have. Attack with her, counterblast, retire, call another copy of her. Attack with her, counterblast, retire her, call another copy, play another base if you wanted to with the first skill. Absolutely amazing card. But yeah, lately an issue of sort of card quality has come up a lot. This is the same exact pack that we just opened, where a lot of the commons and rares just kind of bog down the box, whether or not the actual double rares and triple rares are actually good. One of the great things about this set, as much as I've been negative about it, is that we actually got the Mushi King collab in this set. Originally, this was in set 11 for Japan, and we basically figured we would never get this because it is a very sort of Japanese-only property, but hey, they managed to work some magic, and we have it here in English. The Mushi King cards are kind of strange. I'll have a video going over them pretty soon, but there might be already some by the time I get that out. But essentially, they're a bunch of photorealistic bugs that use a crest, and it allows you to, based on the bug that you have and their characteristic, they have like a finishing attack, you can use a specific order. This is one of the orders that you can use. This is one of the guys that says if you have something a grade 3 face up, you can CB1 and draw. I don't know why you have to CB1 also. Should have just been for free if you have it face up. And then we also got these blitz orders for every nation that just say some sort of nation-specific requirement, and then it says you get 15k. It's a blitz order, and then if your opponent's Vanguard was placed by an ability this turn, it gets 30k instead of 15, so it's double the power. So specifically against like strides or something like that, you can use this. This grade 1 here is actually pretty useful, at least for when it comes to sheer new here. We got some more ride stuff. We got this bear for well, so that's not very good. We got ourselves the Stag Beetle. This is one of the bugs that you can use with the order. You can see here as a finishing attack, and then if you use an order, basically you have a crest that says when you attack, pick an order in your order zone, rest it, and use the ability of it. Like, it has a keyword which is attack, so it's similar to like the products where they say, like, you know, the operate ability, and then you get to use the effect of that order on your bug, and then if it like matches certain criteria, so if like the skill matches, if it has the same type of finishing attack, and if it's a super finishing attack, you get like extra bonuses and whatnot. The bugs themselves don't do anything. It's just all based on the order that you use, to the set order that you use in order to give them power, but it also locks you out of set orders for basically the rest of the game because of the crest, which is why you end up using the Zorga card. I forgot what it's called, but the golden Zorga one where you discard an order to get drive checks, because you can very easily then just discard your extra order set orders because you only need the 3.
on board that the crest gives you automatically, and then use that to get extra drives. And we're actually going to get ourselves a Philander here as our triple rare. Philander is an amazing card. Conceited Noble Philander. So he says, on place on rear from hand specifically, look at the top 5 cards from your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, discard it, and shuffle your deck. Then during your turn, if your drop has 10 or more cards, this unit gets 10k power. So it's just great because it's just look at top 5 mil, which is good. This grade 3 here is pretty interesting. It says at the end of the battle that it attacked the Vanguard, you open it to a back row rearguard circle, which is pretty interesting, but it'll be rested. So maybe that'll come into some use eventually. Got some more Prayer Dragons, some more random Griffogillia support cards. We got ourselves a double rare here in the Desired Devil Mushin. So this has one skill that just says in your soul, when your Vanguard with Greedon in its name attacks, if it's a second battle of this turn, and you do not have a rear guard with the same card name as this card, you may call it out to rear. And if you did, you cannot put this into soul by your Vanguard's ability, and it gets 5k. So this card is kind of interesting. It does suck that it doesn't allow Greedon to get extra attacks with it, but it does give you an extra attack by the fact that it calls itself out. Very interestingly, it specifically specifies if it's the second battle of this turn. So this means you can't swing with like a rear guard and then Greedon, put everything into soul, and then swing a Greedon again. It's not the second Greedon attack. It's just when Greedon attacks. If for that turn it's the second battle, then you can activate this skill. And then we're gonna get ourselves a triple rare here. Got a double hit. I'm very glad I didn't get this in FFR because I actually bought these 4 of these because they're like 20 bucks in FFR, because they recently released that they're gonna support Welstra in Divines, right? So me and a couple of other people have actually picked up on like, oh, this might actually be good in the new Welstra, because right now she's not very good and she's actually getting bought out the FFR, which is kind of interesting. But this is Blitz Accounting Department's staff, Bergina here. She says, when placed, if you have a Vanguard or Welstra in its card name, CB1, choose a product from your order zone and operate it. And then when a product in your order zone is operated by another card ability, you Soul Blast 2 and draw 1. Just 2 good effects, it's just that they're too cost heavy. The deck already suffers from using a lot of Counterblast, so using Counterblast again kind of sucks. And then, you know, you already have the, what is his name? Fright Height, who Soul Blast 2 to operate. So Soul Blast 2 again to draw 1 is extremely heavy costs, but otherwise pretty good effects. Maybe in Divine should be really good. I think the part that annoys me the most about these grade 2 grades above your opponent's Vanguard cards is that the art is so good, and then it just goes to waste. And this card has amazing looking art, but it's just Griffogillia support. We got the starter for Alden. We got another set of like things that every nation got to just amplify just how kind of boring this set is, where it's just the same effect on just, you know, different cards for each nation. But each nation also got these grade 3s that are 15k. They can only be placed on Dragon Tree markers, and you can't ride them. Also, they have an ability that says for every Dragon Tree marker you have, this gets +2. And then they have a nation-specific ability. This one says this gets 2 for each of your rear guards. It doesn't say other rear guards, so it gets 2 for itself. So this one and this 3rd one are actually, I think, pretty good. This is some crap. It says like CB1 depending on your opponent's grade. Then we've got ourselves a grade 2 here, double R. Support for Zorgo actually, but a bit generic. The Spoof Shade. So in your hand, when an order would be discarded from your hand by a card ability, you can discard this as an order card. Then it also says if you Alchemagic Discern, this unit gets 10k, but only in the back row. So you can maybe use this in the bugs. We picked the wrong box, boys. You can maybe use this in bugs when we get the expansion for being able to use 50 cards in the main deck. Unfortunately, our last FR here is going to be the Flash Artillery Dragon Velio on Rush, who just says on place CB1 if you have a grade 3. Oh no, you put a grade 3 that was originally in your ride deck face up, and then draw a card. This common is one of the other interesting cards here. It just says that this is discarded during your turn. Search your deck for one copy of itself and add it to your hand. I don't know if that'll actually see any play anytime soon, but we'll just have to wait and see. Here's a Dragon Empire version, and here's a Dark States version of the Dragon Tree stuff. Here's the Mind Lave, which is that order if your opponent's played their Vanguard by an ability, it gets double shield or power. But it is a Brainwash Swirler on the art, which is really cool. And then we're going to get ourselves our triple rare here. Might be the last one. Red Eye of Governing Ruler Lindikia, which is for both. Technically for any mass deck, you can kind of use this. But it's mainly for the Alma Jester, so Unica, mass specifically, and also for the Almir Grugio. So when this card is placed on mirror, if your Vanguard is a mass, you CB1, look at the top 5, call a grade 3 or less, and then bind a trigger from your drop. Also, if you have 3 or more trigger units in your bind zone, this gets 10k power. So it doesn't specify the trigger types, so you can actually use this as another attacker in, maybe your main attacker, honestly, in Unica. Got another random support card here for Zorga. This is the Bride Hopper. When this unit boosts a Zorga, you can CB1, choose a normal order from your bind zone, put it into your hand. Here is the Sorkea one, which is kind of useful, because every 5 cards in your drop, it gets plus 2k. So, the other ones probably get a little bit more power, but this really works well with Magnolia Mask, because it's 15k, plus it gets power, just naturally from how the deck works. Here's the original grade 1 for Olden, which misses the word, has a misprint, I should say, where it's missing reveal. So it just says 3 cards, doesn't tell you what to do with them. And then we're just going to get a nice little cute little rare here of the colored Flow Brave Shooter. Rares look really nice on camera and in light, but I wish they looked a little bit better just normally, because sometimes they just look really flat. But it just says if a unit stood, when this unit stands by card ability, soul charge 1. This Unica card really annoys me because Unica needed a lot more than a card that just gets to soul charge in 5k when you choose it from an ability by her specifically. These cards are pretty interesting because there's a grade 1 and grade 3 that combo each other. So this one says on place from Soul, CB1 search your deck for a grade 3 and add it to your hand. The grade 3 then says on place, you can search this out from your Soul. Here's a Brancate Dragon Tree guy. Here's some random cute little girl. And then we got ourselves a double R here, the Great Scale Supporter Volvinia here, which just says in the back row center specifically, all of your rear guards that are placed by Vanguard's ability this turn get plus 5k. So you can use this in quite a lot of decks. Progressing Promise Eliza here was a card I wish was actually used in Leonard, because it says if you have a Vanguard in the unit state, this cannot be chosen by card effects, and it gets plus 10k power and shield. So this is a common that does all of that. But, oh well. It doesn't actually see play. Here's the grade 3 that I was talking, or sorry, the grade 2 I was talking about that says if you have something face up with the same name as your Vanguard, you countercharge 1. So you put something that was in your right deck face up, then this says it lets you countercharge 1. Would have been nice if it was like countercharge 3 for how much you have to invest, but that's just how that be. Got ourselves here the Griffo Escalogui, which is a token set order. So this doesn't actually go into your deck. This is played by your grade 11 Griffogillia. This is also grade 11 as well. At the beginning of your main phase, you can search your deck for up to 1 trigger unit, put it into your ride deck face up, shuffle your deck, and if you did, you can call a Hydragum from your drop and put it to rear. Then it also says in the order zone act, once per turn, you can discard a Griffogillia, either the grade 10 or grade 11. Draw a card and choose one of your rears and put a Dragon Tree marker on it, even if it already has one. Then put the top of your deck into the top card of your deck into your damage zone face down, and then you choose a Calamity card from your right deck and remove it. So it accelerates Griffogillia's thing of, removing Calamity cards, so then just check the overtrigger when you want to. So it speeds it up by a turn. We got the grade 4 Drag Jeweled support that lets you search it out, and then the Blitz order for Stokia. Here's the grade 3 that partners with the Crafty Lord. So it just says here, when this is placed from him during main phase, you choose the Crafty Lord from Soul and call it out. This guy gets 5k, and at the end of the turn, you put this guy on the bottom of your deck. And here's the crest for Mushi King here. Mushi King, King of the Beatles machine. So you get this from the grade 0, and then it's put into the order, or put into the crest zone, I should say. Then it says you can't ride anything except Mushi cards. You can't play set orders except for the Mushi cards that this plays out. And you can only put set orders into the order zone with this crest ability. So when you get this crest, you immediately search for 3 different orders that have these different characteristics, hitting, pinching, and throwing, and then put them into your order zone and shuffle your deck. Then Soul Blast 1, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, search up to 1 Mushi or attack card from among them, reveal it, put it to your hand, and shuffle your deck. Finally, when your Mushi attacks, you rest an attack card with grade less than or equal to your Vanguard in your order zone and use that card to attack. It depends on what the actual order says. And got the new hero here, which is okay. He has a nice effect, but I don't really like using him. And that's it. This was the grade 2 for Olden here, and then the Skewed Pain Dragon for Brankade that just says when this unit attacks in Vanguard, CP1 for every 5 grades. For the sum of grades in your set order, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it, and this guy gets 5k. So if it's 10 grades, this gets 10k. Not the best card, to be honest. Got ourselves the Bat on the Blitz order for this one, and then we got ourselves yet another Prayer Dragon. Got ourselves another Beetle here. So you can actually use these in your ride deck or in main deck, because it's grade 1, so this one can actually boost. And then we got ourselves a grade 1 for Olden, which is pretty cool. Wow. Ooh, we got ourselves a double rare here. The Dragon Tree Wench Gelia Dissect, which is just CB1 on place to play a marker and then search for the Mask of Hidrogrim. But this one is for Keter. So. There's actually no mask in Keter, but you can use it for Griffagelia. Same thing with Dragon Empire, which apparently are the only nations that weren't corrupted by Dragon Tree, or at least fully. Must be nice to be a main character clan. Or maybe not, I don't know. Our last pack here is going to give us the Elephant Beetle, which is pretty cool. And then this rare that I really wish had a better effect, because she says on place, on rear, CB1, put a grade 3 that was in your ride deck face up to Soul Charge 3. We kind of need a generic card like this in Dark States. That's just like CB1 Soul Charge a bunch, that's only a unit. And we do not get that unless, you know, by the time you can use this, it's already too late, in my opinion, which is unfortunate.